Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Time to review a couple of more aggressive growth stock picks with Bill Wilton, our aggressive growth stock analyst at Zacks.com. And the first company that we're going to talk about, one that you've written about here very recently, American Science and Engineering. This company makes X-ray inspection devices, ticker symbol ASEI. So do they make those X-ray machines that see you naked now?
Well, not completely naked,
okay.
Unfortunately, for you, Terry. But they just
fortunately for the people who have to watch them.
They just reported their quarterly results on November 5th. They saw a 9% increase in revenue to about $61 million. This led to an earnings surprise when they reported earnings per share of $1.18. That really crushed estimates, so it beat by about 31 cents. Now, the big story behind that, one, they have a great earnings report. Things are looking well for them, but as I'm sure everyone knows, there was an attack on an airport, or attempted attack on an airport over the holiday season, which led to a lot of attention toward these security companies. Now, these don't make the body scanners that will, pick out the different types of materials that are in there, but they do get some pretty intense, as far as X-ray images can go. These are extremely sophisticated, and President Obama even came out and said that, it's not just going to be the scanners that can pick up this type of material that the guy used. He actually said that he's expecting airport security to be multi-level. They need to beef up X-rays. They need to beef up those body scanners, personal searches, interviews, things like that. He said it's a multi-level approach, and that they need to pad every single area that they can. So obviously, estimates have been climbing for this company as recently as the past week. So they're not only getting estimate revisions from the latest quarterly report, but also from this attempted terrorist attack.
So these companies are going through, there's a lot of interest in these companies all of a sudden in light of that Christmas Day
Oh, absolutely. Airport security has been, kind of a hot topic. There's a debate between privacy and security and things of that nature, but whenever we see an attack like this, actually this is probably one of the most impactful, or has the most impact of a lot of these attempted attacks or planned attacks, because it was so close to happening, and it was relatively simple to spot. All they needed was a certain type of scanner. So as far as the interest that these people or these companies are getting, you can see here the surge in volume and that surge in share price. You can see a few months ago that it pales in, or the quarterly volume, you'll see companies peak in volume as they report quarterly earnings. That pales in comparison to the activity that they're seeing now as investors and traders are piling into these airport security companies. So the interest is there. At first, I thought this might just be something short-lived, just a pop and fizzle. But it looks like that there's a lot of expectations on these types of companies.
Interesting. All right, and then another company that you've written about recently, CTRP.com International, CTRP, the ticker symbol. A Chinese travel website. What exactly does that mean?
Well, what they do is they are kind of like a Chinese version of our Orbitz or Travelocity. They book travel packages, including flights, hotels, things of that nature, that travelers can get at a discounted rate. It benefits both parties. The hotels are more likely to get their rooms filled. Travelers are getting them at a discount. They kind of just pair them up so that everyone's happy.
So travel company, travel website based in China.
Correct.
Basically, okay.
And, which is kind of ironic because I did just talk about airport security scares.
Yes.
But, we are seeing an increase in discretionary spending, albeit slight. But, the thing is that happens is when customers come back to traveling, other types of discretionary spending, we're still a bit frugal because we have that fresh, recession in mind. So they come to sites like CTRP to get the best deal possible, so that when they can take the family on vacation, they're able to do it for a bit less, rather than just spending, freewheeling it like we used to in the good old days, I guess.
Makes sense to me.
The quarterly report was released on November 11th. and CTRP saw a 9% jump, or pardon me, a 47% jump in year-over-year revenues, which is obviously fantastic. The earnings per share beat by 8 cents when they reported 39 cents a share. So they're even outpacing the analyst expectations. And these analysts aren't being exactly conservative. They're expecting growth rates for both this year and next year in the mid to upper 30% range. So these are hardly conservative growth rates that they're looking at. The one thing to keep in mind about CTRP is that the valuations are a bit of a question mark here. Their PE ratios are a bit inflated, and usually when you see a big growth rate like that, you'd expect the PEG ratio to be a bit more in line. This one is right now, it's about 1.8, 1.7 in that range, which isn't out of this world, but it's not quite a value either. Usually you're looking for it to be near 1.0 to say the least. Here you can see we actually have the PEG ratio at 1.74 with the 30-some% growth rate for this year. Why I wrote about them, even though these valuations are a bit of a question mark to me, is that right now the stock is behaving in a fairly predictable pattern. We're seeing it staying range-bound right here, so we're at a very good entry point. If you are willing to take a little bit of risk and want a short-term holding, there's a very high likelihood that shares will bounce off this support level, climb back up to, say the $76, $77 range. That's not too bad of a profit for a few weeks holding period. And the other added benefit is that it still has the potential to break through that resistance level. So if you are trying to trade in this channel, it's a good entry point, it's a good company. But as far as long-term buy and hold, the valuations aren't quite there. Just wanted to put a little something different in the Zacks Rank Buy this week.
Okay, do you own either of these two?
I do not.
Check out more Zacks Rank stock pick ideas for yourself on Zacks.com's homepage. In the upper right-hand corner, we put 4 new ones up there each day for your consideration. With Bill Wilton, I'm Terry Ruffalo.